As proclaimed by Governor Wes Moore, 2024 is Maryland's Year of Civil Rights. This marks the 60th anniversary of the 1964 Civil Rights Act, a landmark law in the United States outlawing discrimination based on race, color, religion, sex, or national origin.
But it was a long journey to making this extraordinary event a reality. The road was paved by the dangerous scenarios and the brave actions taken by so many others over hundreds of preceding years.
Which brings us to Footsteps to Freedom, the historic link between sacrifice, triumph, and the modern-day civil rights movement. With us this afternoon to explain all of that, Emily Welch, who is the Acting Chief of Interpretation with the National Park Service. This is Deanna Mitchell, who is the Superintendent of the Harriet Tubman Underground Railroad National Park. Guys, thank you so much for talking to us this afternoon. Emily, tell me what you do.
Oh, well, I'm a jack of all trades and hopefully a master of some. Gosh, I manage the division and our wonderful employees. I work with Deanna on planning and purchasing, and I'm working on our long-term interpretive plan, which is very exciting because we are somewhat of a new park still, and there's lots of growth and opportunity.
And Deanna, what about you? What do you do for the National Historical Park?
Well, I am the superintendent, and I've been in this position for about 6 years, and building up the staff and working with our partners, Maryland Department of Natural Resources and U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. And we're very fortunate to have Emily with us on a detail for 120 days because there are some needs as far as long-range interpretive planning. Yes.
Okay. So what kind of ranger-led programs are there going to be?
Oh, well, I'm going to be bringing some of my history from other parks that I've worked at. So, because we have plenty of Harriet Tubman focused history.
Yeah.
I'll be talking about the history of the African Burial Ground National Monument, which is in New York City, where 15,000 free and enslaved Africans are buried. I also worked at Women's Rights National Historical Park in Seneca Falls, New York, where the women's rights movement, or the catalyst of the women's rights movement, began. So I'll be talking about abolition and how it gave birth to the women's rights movement. It's all tied together.
My goodness.
That sounds fascinating. Okay, what about live performances?
Well, gosh, where to start? I'll leave it to you, Deanna.
I think you hit the gold mine there.
Well, I mean, we have 2 full days of music, interpretation, book reviews, education and empowerment clinic. We have people coming from all over the United States, and we have an international connection as well. We have ladies that are coming from the island of Antigua and Barbuda who are going to be conducting workshops for anyone who would like to create a Harriet Tubman emancipation doll or to learn how to create jewelry, because in their island, the ladies there, they're master seed workers, and they create these beautiful adornments of jewelry and table linen and you name it. Wow. So it's going to be a festival.
Okay, so let me ask, from your perspective,
yes,
why is this such a significant deal?
Well, Harriet Tubman was a woman who was 5 feet tall, right? But she was a giant because she was able to go within herself and say, you know, I feel like I need to be free, and I want to be free, and I want to help others to be free. And I think the whole premise behind what we are trying to do this weekend, in conjunction with what you had mentioned earlier, the proclamation, and our annual Harriet Tubman Emancipation Day and International Underground Railroad Month, there's a thread that runs between all 3 of those.
Yeah.
And we feel that this is such a wonderful fit for us to put this on for this community, for this region, for this nation. So that's why it's important.
All right. Well, remind us again, what are the times and where should folks go?
The quickest thing to do is just put in Harriet Tubman Underground Railroad National Historical Park. I guess that's not that quick. Or Harriet Tubman National Park Service, and make sure you get that Maryland site, because we do have a sister site. Her life was prolific, and she continued with her work in northern New York as well. So there's a sister site there. So make sure you get the Maryland site. Right. We have Friday, we will be out starting at 11:30 to 5, and then Saturday 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. So full day. Don't worry about parking. We're going to have plenty of parking with shuttles, food trucks. There, you can spend your full day with us.
That sounds like a wonderful plan, and it's going to be a great weekend.
And it's free.
And it's free.
One of my
Right?
favorite words.
How about that?
Yes.
Ladies, thank you so much
you.
for coming in.